Hi, my name is Jose Manuel Martinez, and I'm going to explain the historical milestones in the current era about the human rights. So let's begin. American Declaration of Independence, 1776. On July 4, 1776, the United States Congress passed the Declaration of Independence. Congress was the one who published the Declaration of Independence in various ways. The Declaration emphasized two themes: individual rights and the right of revolution. Later, these ideas came to influence the French Revolution in particular. The current era, having an influence on the European Revolution and on the independence of the rest of the colonial territories of America, it caused the creation of a democratic constitution, the economic boom and territorial expansion, as well as the formation of a society divided into social classes typical of the industrial societies and the abolition of slavery. French Revolution, 1789. The French Revolution was the greatest political social change that occurred in Europe at the end of the 18th century. The importance of this ideological revolution presented the French national spirit and served as a model, as an engine of change in many European countries that lived oppressed under the yoke of the absolutist monarchies. France was governed by an absolute monarchy that it was only governed by an important nobility that monopolized all the political and religious power of the nation. In the current era, the consequence of that ideological struggle against traditional models led to the destruction of the feudal system and the absolutist monarchy. The Declaration of the Right of Man and Citizen was drafted and disseminated, and all democratic ideas were developed at the same time that movements of nationalist courts. Charter of the United Nations, 1945. The Charter was signed on June 26, 1945 in San Francisco, at the end of the United Nations Conference on National Organization, and entered into force on October 24 of the same year. Due to its unique international character and the power of its founding charter, the United Nations can make decisions on the wide variety of problems facing humanity in the 21st century. In the current era, the Charter of the United Nations not only represents the constitutive instruments of the United Nations as an organization, but also consists of a multilateral legal manifesto that encompasses a set of basic principles and norms aimed at guaranteeing peace, freedom, development, equality, and human rights around the world. Today, it is a universal instrument through which all states have solemnly agreed to govern their international relations. And Universal Declarations of Human Rights, 1948. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights is a document that marks a milestone in the history of human rights, drawn up by representatives from all religions of the world with different legal and cultural backgrounds. The declaration was proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly in Paris on December 10, 1948, as a common ideal for all peoples and nations. In the current era, the approval of this document was not the culmination of a process, but the beginning of a path that we are still traveling. A path in favor of justice and universal equalities, based on empathy as recognition of the inherent rights of the other, the defense and fulfillment of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights is represented to us today as the only way to guarantee human dignity, but also our own survival. Well, that's all for me. Thank you for watching.